In today's video, do I have enough muscle to compete? Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Rebella from ProPhysique.com, and I just wanted to put that hat on because you know what? It signifies something. Yesterday I went back in the gym, and for the first time in, I don't know, since March, I was in my local gym. Now I have an awesome home gym here that I've set up, but it's just not the same. You don't have all the variety of equipment. So yeah, I wore that hat in the gym yesterday. It felt good. I liked what I saw. I felt like, you know, I'm doing this transformation challenge. My physique is changing for the better. I've definitely put on some muscle, lost a lot of body fat. I'll do a physique update and a food update next week. I'm gonna do a full day of eating. This week just got away from me. I just have so much stuff going on. We hired some new coaches. We're developing some new stuff for the back end for, more to come on all the things that we're doing, but ProPhysique has been growing at a substantial rate, and so it's been awesome. And also the competition season is kicking off for my clients. I think there's gonna be a show next weekend. I'm going to my first show since the Arnold in June, and then it's just gonna get crazy. I'll be at a show almost every weekend, which goes perfectly into today's topic, which comes from right here on my Instagram direct message. So if you have a question, please send it here and I'll answer it. Now today's question is, do I have enough muscle to compete? Hi Paul, love your content. I'm a beginner lifter, 2 years, and I've always been the skinny kid, and it doesn't help that I'm 6'4". Well, hey, I'm 6'3". I wanted to compete in a bodybuilding show for a while now, but I'm concerned I don't have enough muscle mass to complement the leanness required for a show. I'm worried I'll look skinny on stage and not enough muscle. Have you encountered this with someone before? What would your suggestion be? Now let me think, who did I encounter this with? Myself. At 6'3", of course, the first thing I thought about when I thought about doing bodybuilding shows years ago was like, there's no way. All those guys are short and they're huge. But here's what changed my perspective. I'm gonna give you my full opinion on this topic, but the most important thing is that you go to a show, because I think we all have these preconceived notions about bodybuilding shows and what's on the stage, but it's not the case. There's a lot of people that are just like your neighbor, your friends, the guy that goes to the gym, that diet down, do shows. There's divisions for first-time competitors, for novice competitors, okay? Now they have different divisions for men based on what your kind of aesthetics and muscle density looks like. You have things like men's physique, classic physique, bodybuilding, okay? Years ago in 2008 when I did my first ever show, I did novice bodybuilding. I got a trophy over here somewhere for it, and I won my class in an NPC undrug tested show, and I'm a drug-free athlete. So yes, you can do it, okay? Now I compete in different divisions. Now I fit the criteria more for classic physique and men's physique. Classic physique, in 2018, I won an NPC overall as a drug-free athlete in an untested show. Now these are all humble brags, and I'm, obviously I'm not that much of an asshole that I want to talk about myself here. I want to talk about you. So let's get to the point. Do you have enough muscle to compete in bodybuilding after 2 years of training? Well, a lot of that comes down to what you look like, because muscle shape, muscle fullness, and your structure are gonna really determine what you look like on stage. If you have some nice proportions, wide shoulders, a tiny waist, a little bit of quad density so you have some sweep, your vastus lateralis inserts in a nice way, well, you can get away with having a little bit less muscle. Ultimately, competing on a bodybuilding stage comes down to getting in proper conditioning, because you're judging the physique based on the size, the shape, and the clarity of each muscle. So a lot of people are gonna actually get on a bodybuilding stage and not reach conditioning. That, in my opinion, is why I was able to win in 2008. Now, I was 32 years old at that time, and I started lifting at 18 years old, but I probably hadn't been that consistent over those, 12, 14 years. What I had been was a bro lifter. But when I decided to compete, I promise you, that was the best year of training in my life. I decided after going to a show that 1 year later I was going to do a show. Now, you could say, I didn't have the best, most balanced physique possible for me, but what I'll say about competing, and this is why I'm gonna suggest that you go to a show, commit to the show the next year. What you find out about yourself is if you actually love the sport and love the process. Don't rush getting on stage, okay? For me, choosing a show a year later, I changed my priorities around a bit. I started focusing more on nutrition. I reached out to a coach who was Lane Norton. I learned about proper training and proper nutrition, and I started applying that, and I also stopped giving myself these bullshit reasons for missing workouts, okay? When you know you're gonna get on stage in a year, you don't miss workouts. I stopped playing like 3 or 4 softball leagues, a couple volleyball leagues, a couple basketball leagues. I am a serial exerciser, right? I love training and competition. And for me, it's always been sport. But when I committed to bodybuilding, you know, I had a lot of detractors. A lot of my friends were like, you can't do bodybuilding, you don't have enough muscle, you know, I'm 6'3", I'm this string bean, right? But I'll say this, the changes in my physique in that 1 year were phenomenal, and hopefully I'll have some stuff to put in here for you. Actually, if you search one of the oldest videos on my YouTube channel, it's my posing routine from my first ever bodybuilding show in 2008, the NPC Mid-Florida Muscle Classic. Shout out to D Corner, awesome show. So what I really loved about the process of getting ready for the stage, and why I think it's a good idea for you to do it, even if you don't feel you have enough muscle, is that once you commit to that, you'll start making the right decisions. You'll start planning ahead your meals. You'll start really focusing on getting good workouts in the gym, and you're really gonna learn a lot about yourself. During that time when you get on stage, really to see where your muscle needs to come up, where your positives and negatives are, getting stage lean really shows that. So what did I learn the first time I did a bodybuilding show? That, damn dude, you need to hit back once in a while. I think I had pretty good chest, pretty good shoulders. My arms were okay. Legs were really good. I had pretty big quads and glutes and hamstrings. My problem, dude didn't hit a back exercise the right way for about 12 years. And so what I had to do was relearn how to engage my back, how to grow it, okay? I really started focusing on rounding out my physique. And now I think my back is one of my strengths. So that's really what you enjoy about dieting down, because when you're stage lean, you can really break apart the muscle groups. When you got some body fat on you, it's hard to tell. It's hard to be sure what is growing and not growing. You can certainly see the shapes, and you can certainly see what's gonna be, you know, popping and showing on stage. But I certainly think it's a good idea because A, if you wait too long to get on stage, things start to happen. Things like you might get married, you might have a kid, you might get a new job, you might, you know, there's things that start to happen in life. And it took me until I was 32, even though I loved bodybuilding from the time I was 18, to get on stage because all these things were happening. So I say go to a show, commit to doing that show a year later, find a local one that you can do, and go all in, man. And I think even if you don't feel like you have enough muscle at that first show, it's really going to create the habits, create the routine. If it's something you love, that you're gonna know, you know what, you can take a year, 2, 3 years off and come back and be a better version. That's what bodybuilding is about. It's not about waiting till you have the most absolutely stunning physique and then getting on stage. Sure, that'd be great. But for me, what's been great is from competing in 2008 to 10 years later in 2018, seeing the changes I was able to make in my physique, competing every second or third year, has been a fun journey for me. It's created lifelong friendships. It's created habits and routines that have changed my life for the better on so many levels. Now I get to coach people and talk to amazing people like you guys. So I hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. Do you have enough muscle for a bodybuilding stage? Hey, go watch a show, find out, commit to doing it a year later, and let's get this done. And hey, keep me in the loop. Start a YouTube channel. Make some posts about it. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.